Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about the challenge season 39, episode 17, titled Feel the Burn. Last week, the players competed in a repelling daily, which saw Jay come out on top and Ed purged from the game. In a dramatic selection process where Olivia turned on Nerys, Horacio, and Kyland went into elimination, where Nerys pulled out the win, sending home her closest allies Kyland and Horacio. If you missed the episode, I put a link below to my challenge recaps playlist. Consider subscribing if you like the content, but let's dive into it. Nerys returns to the house from elimination and tells them that she's there alone. They don't believe her because of Kyland's little prank last week, but obviously eventually they see that she's telling the truth. She refuses to give them information about the elimination and says,
also all of you guys.
Olivia cries to Michelle in the bedroom, and Michelle points out that Olivia made her decision out of survival, not malice. Michelle encourages Olivia to talk things over with Nerys and patch things up. Jay and Mariah celebrate and chest bump, then Emmanuel joins them to triple chest bump. Jay says that he still wants to look out for Nerys. Olivia and Nerys talk. Olivia tearfully apologizes to Nerys and explains herself.
I have no one to blame but myself. I did a really big L.
Poolside, Berna tells Michelle she feels betrayed that Michelle put Olivia before her in the selection. Berna also doesn't like what Michelle did to Nerys. Michelle then goes to join Olivia and Nerys, who are still talking, and now Nerys says she wants to run an all-girl final. They head to their daily called Drum Roll. They'll be on a suspended drum that spins over the water. The first 5 who fall go to a loser's bracket to see who'll be purged. The top 5 go to a winner's bracket to find a winner for the week. You instantly know this challenge is going to be pretty fun to watch. They get started. Some of them are running, which is making the barrel spin faster. Some are just hanging there for dear life. Olivia falls first, face planting into the water. I worry so much for Olivia's face on this show. Michelle is next, followed by Colleen, Mariah, and Emmanuel, making up the losers bracket. Corey, James, Nerys, Jay, and James play out the winners round. Berna is skittering on the wheel like a little mouse as Corey, Nerys, and Jay fall. Jay almost lands on Nerys, which made me nervous. It comes down to James and Berna, who are both running, but in the end, Berna wins the challenge handily. The real intrigue is the losers bracket, where they're all attempting to run like Berna, to varying degrees of success, because Michelle stumbles early and is hanging on with just her arms for a long while, but eventually her arms give out and she takes a hard sideways fall into the water, which looks like it really hurt. So we end up losing Michelle here, who must be exhausted after 2 seasons in a row. This is definitely Michelle's best showing as far as the challenge goes. She pretty much dominates the entire social game this season, firstly because she is a really gifted social player, but also because she was on both Spies, Lies, and Allies and Ride or Dies, so she ends up being really well connected, which becomes more of a blessing than a curse. It ended up weighing greatly on her how she was trying to bring all of the people that were pretty much left in this episode to the final, and I feel like she thinks she's gonna have a big target on her in future seasons because of all this. Really, she kept her hands pretty clean. She didn't really have to decide between these people because she was purged. A lot of the people from this season she had hands in eliminating we're never gonna see again, but Michelle made a huge enemy out of Berna. Berna's been on the official challenge podcast and she hates Michelle's ass. So managing Berna was a failure for Michelle, but for the most part I saw more good than bad. She beat Kara in that elimination. That was really impressive. I'm still doubtful if she can ever win a final, but overall I don't think the backlash from this season will harm her in future seasons. Also, the storyline with Michelle and Callum was insane and still unresolved. So the rest of the players get back to the house and Olivia campaigns to Berna and Colleen to do an all-women alliance. At night, they're having a party in the backyard. It looks like they're having slightly more fun than when they go to the club, but it looks like they just tell them to dance for like 5 minutes every episode just so they can make it look fun on TV. Then they get right to the game talk. Olivia gets support from Jay. She's nervous about going into elimination. Corey and Colleen bond over feeling like they've been used in the game, and Corey wants Colleen to pick him before she picks Jay. Berna tells Jay and Emmanuel about the all-girls alliance, so I guess so much for my dreams. Berna wants James, Nerys, and Olivia to be in the elimination. Later, Colleen and Berna talk to Jay again, further trying to sabotage Nerys to Jay to keep Jay from saving her. They are telling him things that Nerys actually did say. Nerys tells us she's keeping the format of the elimination a secret, so that's her advantage, but she talks to Jay and he tells her he doesn't plan to save her based on what he was told by the other girls. Nerys gets heated with Jay and then confronts the girls.
Colleen, you're a dumb, fake ass, lying ass bitch. So don't start with me. Lying ass, dumb ass bitch.
Jay comes over to remind Nerys he's not picking her.
I'm not picking you.
Don't
I'm your
care.
friend.
No,
but
I'm not
game-wise,
your friend.
This chain of events felt icky to me. Everyone in the house turning on Nerys, even her friend Jay. Olivia stands up for Nerys and Nerys gets the last word.
You're literally such a bitch.
I'm done.
Okay.
Getting to the selection, Berna chooses Corey first, flashing back to him making a pinky swear deal with she and Colleen. Next is Colleen, Emmanuel, Jay, who makes a speech about how Nerys crossed him in the game. So he saves Mariah, sending Nerys, Olivia, and James to elimination. TJ is shocked.
Jay, you cried last time we were right here.
So they get ready and head to elimination, where TJ tells them that yet again, 2 of them will be eliminated. Same elimination rules apply, complete the 3 puzzles in any order. The puzzles this time are flicking switches to match a key, a slide puzzle, and getting in cold water and putting eliminations in order. James gets off to an early lead, but he's huffing and puffing like Asthmatic John on the Traders. James gets the switches done first, but that's easy, and Nerys smashes her slide puzzle and the switches while the other 2 are still on the slide puzzle. James and Olivia are stuck on their slide puzzle for a long time. Nerys gets in her bucket to solve her puzzle, and without much suspense at all, she wins quickly. They couldn't even make this look suspenseful because Nerys kicked James and Olivia's asses. So yet again, we get 2 eliminations here. I'll talk about Olivia first because she had less flags. I was so excited for Olivia to come back. I've loved her on her other appearances. It was really awful what happened to her with the golf ball, but she comes in here. Obviously, she's upset that Horacio didn't tell her he was coming on the show. She was kind of invisible on the show for the first half, but during that time when she was invisible on the show, she was playing a good game. Then when all this stuff starts happening with Horacio and Nerys, it just seems like it wasn't fun to be Olivia this season. She cut that deal last episode really to save herself in the game. It definitely wasn't a good look for her to do that. The fans did not like this. In this episode, it was nice to see her feel remorseful and apologize to Nerys. Something that's been keeping me up at night is, did Olivia call Nerys broke? Yes or no? I'd love to see Olivia back again for future seasons. I think Olivia and Nerys could be contenders for a future Rivals season. The drama with Horacio is still unresolved. Horacio publicly said that Olivia still hasn't apologized, so that could be interesting in the future. Overall, I just think Olivia needs to have a little bit more fun, but I think that there's a lack of fun on this show in general. We also lose James here. So James comes into the season after breaking his face in the last one. I wasn't really excited for him to come back. He was in the pretty doomed UK alliance in the beginning, then gets into this relationship with Mariah, which really saves his ass for a good amount of time. I feel like he was really on the bottom of a lot of people's lists here. He really has no strategic game. I don't think he could ever win a final. Anytime he was on my screen, I found it to be unpleasant. I don't think there's any season or any theme that would make me want to see him back on the show. When I say I'm good, I'm good. So let's move on. TJ calls Nerys the Dragon Slayer and says he's very proud of her. Meanwhile, Mariah is back at home looking like me listening to Avril Lavigne on the school bus in 2007, but Nerys comes back to the house and the other players are so nasty to her. Mariah's rightfully upset and cries about James being gone. The episode ends with them going to the club and TJ shows up to ruin the fun and I guess let them know that they made it to the final. So I guess next week is part 1 of the final. Here's what I'm expecting. Firstly, I'm expecting them to somehow magically win back all the money that they lost along the way. I will give this show props if they keep that money from them. Secondly, I would say at least 2 people get eliminated next week. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but I'm going to ask you all this once and for all. Let me know in the comments. Did Olivia call Nerys broke or not? Okay, have a nice weekend. Bye.